We are still here. The world is still in chaos, and it's still tough to swallow all of this. But we are here, and we are going to make it through this. I definitely got a bit of a shock lately, as the whole world did recently with John Taylor's news. And I didn't want to belabor this too much, but I did want to reach out to everyone who shared a lot of the feelings that I did. It was one of those things that just took my breath away. Reading about him recovering from the virus, thank goodness, it just lightens my whole outlook on everything, knowing that he's okay. But in that moment when I learned what he was going through, it returned me to those moments when Simon went through his drum incident, his accident, when Nick went missing from the tour, when Simon lost his voice in 2011. These are things that really no one ever expects, and it made me think a little bit about how I kind of see my own life in accordance with the band. It's almost like the band is kind of a litmus test. Everything is manageable, life is going to be okay, as long as Duran's okay. And then suddenly something happens, and it just kind of knocks me for a loop. I mean, I have this great metaphor. I'm probably going to result in lots of eye rolling, but I kind of saw myself as a little Duranie armadillo making my way, through this hostile territory, and every day gives me a new layer of armor, so I'm kind of getting desensitized to all this. And then suddenly, John's news just kind of flips me over, and now I'm feeling every amount of vulnerability in my soft little underbelly. And it just kind of reminded me of my own mortality and how fragile everything is, and it was tough. So I just really wanted to reach out to everyone who might have shared those feelings. It was very scary, but I'm very glad that John's okay. Oh, what a collective sigh of relief all around the world. Hello, Denise Schaefer. Welcome to another distraction. A new is back. Stuart Dunn is here, longtime friend. Love ya. So yes, there's so many reasons why today is needed just by me, and it's always wonderful to hear that you guys are enjoying this just as much. And I'm here with my new ensemble. I have the background set by Christine Bourne. I have Shirt by Patty Palazzo, Passion by Duran, and Stress Levels by Pandemic. So we are all here together. Hello, Fabi. We're going to dive in to a new volume. This is volume 75. And because we are all feeling the global reach of this crisis, we're just going to take a nice international look at Duran around the world. All foreign articles. There's going to be some gorgeous photos in here. Maria is here. Hello, Maria. Lisa Barber's here. Hey, Lisa, I miss you. Okay, here we go. Let's dive into a whole new distraction. We're going to start off in 1981 in Japan. This is a fantastic article, and it's black and white, but I will give you a nice close-up. So a good old shot of the band from 81. It's a little hard to see on this kind of newsprint type of paper, but it's a good shot of Simon crooning into the mic. Some more shots of the band, 81. These are small photos, but I'm going to do the best I can here. Japanese magazines, I don't know where they got these photos, but they always could deliver the goods. Very cool. And again, thank you so much to all the nurses and the doctors and the parents protecting their kids and everyone who's maintaining their distance. But I'm kind of had enough of the distance. I'm ready to have everybody in the archive right now. Come on over. Okay. There's another couple pages. These pictures are pretty small, so I'm just not going to try to kind of communicate those. But then we have nice, glorious 2-page spread. Look at the photos from 1982. I can feel the energy. The band's star was continuing to rise, and the audiences were electrified, and oh my gosh, That was so great. Oh, I'm feeling distracted already. Here's another Japanese article with some great pictures from 1982. It's an interview with Simon Le Bon. Ooh, great pics. Oh, this is a wonderful photo session in Japan when they were in front of a pagoda, I think. I'm not sure where, pretty much sure it was in Japan. I don't know if you'll be able to see this because it's black and white, but there's an action shot up here and they're just walking together through a Japanese garden. Wonderful. I think Ko Hasib was the photographer on that. They had a lot of fun in that photo session. I remember there was a moment when John was holding a puppy, and I'm like, what would make a photo session with Duran Duran possibly even more adorable? Throw in a puppy! Puppy Wrangler! Throw it in! It was fantastic. Teresa's here, reminding me how I always get distracted. I do. I totally get distracted. It's like, squirrel! Squirrel! Oh, very cute picture of Simon with a smile on his face. And then on the other side, we have a German article from Pop Rocky magazine. But check out this expression on Simon. So cute. So cute. You know, I'm thinking about all the times, and there haven't been too many. I don't want to make it sound like, it's as many as some other fans. But the times when I've been lucky enough to be standing in front of Simon, meeting him, and I'm thinking, maybe I should I'm going about this all wrong. Instead of trying to have a conversation, I should just pull out some pictures of him, and show him and just say, oh, you are so cute in this shot. Look at you. You're just so adorable. I think that would go over really well. I don't know. I get these brilliant, inspired ideas sometimes and just want to share. Marie is here. Marie Levy. Hello. Sandra Diaz is here. Welcome. Oh my gosh, my heart is racing. Love you guys. Okay. We're going to go to Italy. This is 1983, I believe. And Simon's on the front with a cute little teddy bear thing poking out of his pocket. You'll see that. And then, of course, we have another shot from the MenCap appearance right before, it was a benefit appearance. Great pics. It's like a nice warm security blanket just being here with you guys. Chris Surich Ball is here. Michelle Vickers-Troncoso. Welcome, you guys. Okay, some assortment of pictures from a session it's one of my favorites, with the blue, white, and black painted background. And then we have a Spanish article over here. I'm starting to go through these volumes right before every broadcast. And I have really high standards. I'm realizing, this book is interesting, but I don't know if it's really up to the standard that the fans deserve. So, it's just, I'm being so picky. This is the lyrics to something, Is There Something I Should Know, from a Spanish magazine. And a lot of the Japanese magazines are backward. They open up from the other side as American magazines do. So this article is going to be backward. So I'll just show it to you backward because all we're looking at is the pictures, right? Okay. It's the lyrics to Something You Should Know. I love that song. I remember when I first heard that song. Hey, Michelle Kennedy. Hello, across the pond. And Ugo is here. Hello, Ugo. I heard Is There Something You Should Know? And I loved the opening drum solo so much that I took a cassette tape and I recorded the drum solo. Hello, Eva. Hello, Michelle. Okay. I recorded the opening Roger's drum solo over and over, the whole do, 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 please, please tell me now, over and over and over. Oh my God. It was just like, I couldn't get enough. I think I did it both sides of the cassette tape. Oh my gosh! And I love those stories that other people have shared. Or actually, even recently, like just little things that they would do, whether it's clipping out little cuttings or doing just little ridiculous things to kind of give yourself a little tingle when you're needing some Duran Duran. Those are the days. Okay. There's more Japanese writing. There's a picture of Simon from a press conference in Japan. There's a big banner behind them, and I think I actually have, I don't think it's that exact one I have, but it's just this huge thing that I have no room for. But I guess those are the problems of, you enjoy those kind of problems as long as you have it. So it's more article in Japanese. I remember practicing writing Duran Duran's name in Japanese. I felt like such an international fan at that point. It's like, I can write their name. I can recognize their name in an article in Japanese. Little pleasures, right? Hello, Suzanne McLaughlin's here. Hey! 15 questions. This is French from the magazine called Wow. 15 questions, very important, I believe. Très urgent, I think. So I think that's what it says. Here's Simon and John with the questions. And then we could move on to, it is actually Andy Taylor, but look whose picture it is. I'm not so sure that's Andy. Fans were so quick to point that stuff out when magazines would do a little bit of a misstep. That's not Andy's picture. Who do you think in issue number 65 on line blah 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 on page blah blah blah? Yeah, Duranians are like hawks, right? Okay, this is a Dutch article. Great photo session. I believe it has something for fans to write in on. Either to win something or register their feelings. Cannot get enough of that photo session of Nick on the stool. Branduin's here. She's like, oops. I was like, yeah, you think you might have someone proofreading? But, those were the days. I don't know, who knows how it got past the censors. This is a lovely article from Turkey. And it's a really cool shot that I've never seen before. Of the band gathered around a little fire. It looks like it's on the set of New Moon on Monday. And Nick's posing in front of that classic car. Just everything about that video I loved. And that was really, really fun when Daily Duranie recently revisited the location of the video. That was really, really cool. So kudos to you, Rhonda and Amanda. That was really fun. Thanks for all you're doing to distract us on your own. This is a Japanese feature and has some nice action shot here and posing in front of the photographers here. And I'll just shush and show you the pictures. Gary Thomas is joining us. Hey, Gary! Okay, so here we are back to the infamous bathtub shot. Nick and Julianne. What a photo session this was, huh? Don't try this at home, folks, unless you're really brave. This is a Dutch article, I believe. And, Nick is showing more skin than usual. I remember reading about all of Nick's moles in 16 magazine. Yeah, they talked about how many moles he had. It's like, ooh, that's critical information, and I would jot that down in my little dropper keeper or notepad. Nick has moles. And like strawberries and champagne. Oh, this is a German article. Lovely picture of John, very warm, leaning up against a pole. and sun-kissed blonde highlights, and in his hair, looking quite dapper. It's John Taylor, baby. He does not know how to put together a bad shot. And here's the remainder of the article, and here's an ad for one of the issues of Music, which is an Italian magazine. How you guys doing? Lapika's here, and Michelle Teasdale-Brown, hello. Oh, hanging with you guys, this is so cool. Wild Boy Wednesday with my peeps, woo! Yeah, I just did that. Here's an ad for some of the books that were out there, and these are staples of any Duranie's collection. I mean, there were certain magazines, right? Certain books, Sing Blue Silver photo book by Dennis O'Regan, Nick's Interference right here, and the Book of Words. And that was like our Bibles, you know? We would just pour over the lyrics, memorize, absorb all the photos. I have this, sometimes I have visions of scenarios that I really never got to enjoy because I wasn't really hanging around a lot of fans at the time. But just imagining how many fans would, it was like slumber parties, you know, you'd have your friends come over, there'd be like a pizza party, you'd just turn on Duran music, you'd go over issues of magazines. I'm envious because I never got to do that. So I'm just like props to those who really got to enjoy those kinds of experiences. Anyway, this is a very cool ad for those books that we just all went out and tried to find. And there's a Turkish article right here. Here is a Dutch article, Simon posing on a boat that's being towed by a tugboat. This, I think, was probably before the drum race, when he still had his long hair before he dyed it black and cut it. And then we have Quebec Rock, a Canadian magazine. Lots of awesome Canadian fans out there. Antonella here, hello. Oh, later she's going to watch the video. Very, very cool. You know, I'm realizing that there are a lot of fans a lot of people that are watching these. It just completely melts my heart. But watching them after the broadcast. And so I'm really, really grateful to Madison Holloman. She has been toiling away and putting all this up on my YouTube channel. So I'm hoping everyone can, you know, visit them at their convenience and just they can enjoy it to any degree. Just means a lot to have you guys with me. I still get nervous. It's not you guys making me nervous, but it's just, I don't know, I care so much about just reaching out and making sure you guys are having a good time. So, Quebec Rock, nice big feature here. Love the photo. And I believe this is titled 50 Curiosities, Interesting Facts, I'm assuming that means, on Duran Duran. So I can't read it, but that's a nice photo. Great feature. Kudos to those magazines who did not ever really want to settle for just one page on the band. It needs to be 2 full pages, at least. Preferably with something that folds out and that just kind of oozes that X factor, you know, look for those photos. Everybody publishes this kind of photo, but we found this outtake. Love that stuff. Okay, so now it's back to Italy. Christine Carbray is here. Hello, Christine. Welcome. Lisa Kingsteel here. Thank you for not running, screaming, and going, what is this? So back to Italy, and this is a lovely spread. Simon with his mane, not a mullet, a mane. Let's just establish that over and over and over again, obnoxiously. There's a great shot of the band coming off stage in '84, and of course Simon just doing what he does best. rest of the article, and here's a picture that we've all seen taken at night, and Simon with his little snake tattoo on the back of his hand. Hope I'm holding that in the right position. Okay, a Spanish magazine now. This is called Fans, issue number 122, and John Taylor is right there on the front, along with Cyndi Lauper and George Michael. Teresa, no, it's not a mullet, it is a mane, okay? We will have words later, okay? It's like Coke versus Pepsi, right? Mane versus mullet, no! Okay. So that's John with, might be a fan, I'm not quite sure who he's posing with. Here, John is clearly posing with Renee. The smile on that woman is just, it can just, yeah, it's awesome. That's it. That's just no, Teresa, not a mullet, it's a mane. Shush. Okay. Don't shush. I love being opposed on this. We'll put together a panel to form a committee to have an in-depth look and examination and maybe a poll on whether it's mullets or manes, okay? But really, it's just emotionally a mane, but technically a mullet. How's that? Okay, I still win. Okay, this is, I think, Janine, is that Janine up here? And a great Wild Boy shot right here. This is one of my favorite photo sessions. This appeared in Rolling Stone. Is it Rolling Stone? Oh, yeah. Might have been Rolling Stone magazine. Yes, the interior of a cover feature. And I'm not sure whether this is exactly the same shot, but everything about this is just so creative and innovative and interesting to look at. It's like there's a leg coming out, women's legs coming out of the wall. There's a muscular man's arm holding a chandelier. I mean, it's very Duran Duran. And of course, the band are just looking extraordinarily dapper right there. I love it when they have like little hints of a smile on their lips. Not too much. They don't want to give you too much in the session, but yeah, just enough. Okay, so we have Nick and Julianne. This is, I believe, at the launch party for Interference or something related to his book. And I remember the feature when Julianne wore this dress. Boy, that was a brave woman. Oh my gosh. And then there were some smaller photos here. There's Roger down here with members of Culture Club. But mostly on Nick and Julianne. That was a era where Nick had black and white mixed hair. Hey, Joe Tucker's here. Hello, Joe. Huge hugs. So Nick's hair was really interesting. It was like salt and pepper, black and white. It was a very odd, I don't want to say odd in a bad way, but it was an interesting choice. I missed the blonde almost instantly. Frosted tips, very Farrah Fawcett. I love that stuff. that's just, okay, we'll see that eventually. This is a Turkish article, and these are shots from Live Aid here, Montreux Rock Festival here, and one of my favorite shots. A black, white, and blue streaked background. I love Nick's smile with the red hair. God, yes, please. Could I have some more of that? And it's kind of cool to be Turkish. I wasn't that long ago when I had no Turkish articles. And like, oh, whoa, the band really got everywhere, into everyone's press. Very cool. So this is a French, Fan Club is a French magazine. And this is a feature, a great shot of Simon View to a Kill era from the set of the video. And then we have the other members here. I think there's biographical information. Just lovely, full color. One of the best moments that I know is, the line is, "Yes, please, thank you," Fabi says. Okay, Fabi, yes, I need to, thank you. Yes, please, thank you. May I have more of that? Okay, so one of the best moments for a watershed moment for any Duranie is Simon's expression at the very end of Beautiful Kill. I love it. It's so cheesy. It's deliciously cheesy. Oh my gosh. I love the fact that I can say these things and you guys know exactly what I mean. It's just like, it's like the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I've mentioned this before. It's like we know exactly. It's like an unspoken language. Secret handshakes, you know, that kind of thing. Love you guys. Okay. This is a Dutch article on Nick. And I love this whole, I've talked about this before, his visit to the Semaphore Art Gallery in New York. It was for a spread in Star Hits magazine. And Bridie, hello. So good to have you here. The visit to that art gallery was just, it resulted in amazing shots. And this is one of them. Nick chose to pose in front of some really, really cool artwork. And that whole look for Nick just did it for me. I mean, the black jacket, the white dots, it was minimal, but it just spoke volumes. It was just totally Nick, and his eyeshadow, the eyeliner, the whole ensemble. I mean, he knows how to put together a look, just like a pro. He's been doing it long enough. Okay, so then another Turkish article. This is an interesting photo session. Arcadia was posing on the roof of some building. Hello, Marty Avery. And it was an interesting look. Nick was wearing some black and white striped pants that looked almost too close to pajamas, but I know it wasn't. Pretty sure it wasn't. And Simon looked ever the sailor. I'll just show you. You can see what I'm talking about. Okay. For all you Andy fans out there, this goes out to Mary Rains, and I know that there's others out there. I can't remember all your names, but I know Andy has a great following. This is for you. This is a Spanish article, rock and roll, and I can't read the rest. So all you people who can speak Spanish, feel free to translate, although the timing will probably be off and I won't be able to read what you've translated until later, and then it'll be confusing for everybody. And then we'll just collapse in a confused mess. But here's Andy Taylor. Okay. And here's another Turkish article. Lots of Turkish articles in here. This is a collage of images, and recognize it, basically the general layout from a German magazine. Buffy Larson's here. Hey, Buffy! Oh, okay. Fabi says rock and roll and madness. That's what this says. Rock and roll and madness. Thank you, Fabi! That was really cool. I was able to pause just enough to get the translation in there. Timing is everything. So this is a Turkish article, and there's lots of photos. I will just show you the photos and shush my face. Lots of good stuff. Lots of different eras. I don't know if the band are one of the most photographed artists ever, but they've got to be up there. I can only imagine they've got to be up there. This is an article about Roger, right here, and this is a Swedish article. I will have to turn it around, but it's something having to do with Arcadia, I believe, or Duran, or both. And here is the Swedish article. That was really, really fun at on the set of The Flame when John made a little cameo appearance. It's like, oh, whoa, what a treat that was. Totally unexpected. Okay, so one of the classic magazines that came out of Italy was CIOE. Not going to try to pronounce it, but it looks so cool, Italian and exotic and flashy, and they had some really, really fun features in their pages. They just took all kinds of liberties with the photos, and they did cartoons, and okay. Oh, and Teresa says she'll give me the Swedish translation later. Thank you. After we finish with our main mullet discussion. Okay, so but what's really cool about these magazines is they often had the covers. The cover had a photo that was actually a sticker. So that's so fun. And it's hard to tell, but you can see the outline of the sticker. And I mean, it was really kind of next level interaction with the fans. You know, it was really fun. So here's this issue of the magazine. John on the front, looking very glammed up. Very glammed up. Lisa Barber loves nerdy Simon in the video, in the Flame video, right? Yes, that was so fun. He really hammed it up beautifully. The I Do What I Do hair. Whoa, that was a lot of hair. It looks absolutely gorgeous from the front. I've seen a couple pictures of it from the back, and it was just a lot to process. There was a lot of hair. It didn't have the same impact as it did from the front, and so I had to get used to that. But how often do you see him from the back? So, okay, and here's John on the steps with a lot shorter hair, and yeah, we all love that one. It's all about the red gloves, right? All about the red gloves. All the attention to detail from that session, the Ragged Tiger session. Okay, we're going into 1987 and the ongoing debate about Duran Duran versus Spandau Ballet. Well, it kind of takes center stage here. And hey, Kim Gallagher's here. Kim! So this is an Italian article that pits Spandau against Duran. Love that picture of Duran from 87. It was such a cool, very focused, different look for them in back then. I mean, in '87, they just were, everything they did was different than anything anybody had ever seen. All your previous definition of who Duran Duran was out the window. Yeah, and it even it went right into their stage performances. This is a TV appearance in Italy, and I mean, their hair, their outfits. 87 was just such a different time, and it showed the world, that the band were capable of changing and evolving. That was really, really cool. I was very, very quite proud of the band, because after I had to get used to the new look, the new sound, everything. Okay, so one of the great sessions that came out of the Notorious years. This is from Turkey. I think when any of them wear a hat, John, Simon, or Nick, back then, it was just poetry. Just poetry. Okay, here is a Swedish article on Nick, cut out from a page. Nick had a lot of sessions where he just really almost channeled David Bowie quite well. Fabi believes that it was John's best look in 1987. I will agree that was definitely one of the contenders. The amount of attention that they paid to their stage outfits, their hair, even when John went from long hair to short, I think it was during the tour, it was just so perfectly, it was polished, it was crafted, it was beautiful. Beautiful, man. Here's a nice article from Turkey, and it has all kinds of good stuff for the distinctive fans out there in Turkey. I haven't met a whole lot of Turkish Duran Duran fans, but I know they're all out there. There's also Israel. Israel has a big amount of Duran fans, which is really fun. Love going out to my sister and her kids. Okay, so there's more of this Turkish article. It's a chronology. It really goes through their career, their releases, their history. Very fun. Pepsi and Shirley, yes. Tessa noticed Pepsi and Shirley on the cover of that issue. That's right. You had all kinds of really fun little things. Wham would, had Pepsi and Shirley, and then they sprouted off on their own. There are all kinds of little crossovers and offshoots, and the 80s saw all that. It was so fun. Okay, here's an article. I believe this is Dutch. I hope. I'll hear about it later. Is it right? Okay. And then we're back to Turkey. Yes. Onyeti, I think, is a magazine in Turkey, and it has a great shot of the band right before a show, like during the sound check. Just nonchalantly leaning up against the railing. Yep, we're rock stars. We know it. And some lovely shot of the band just walking along in public. It's a lot of clothing that they're wearing for a very sunny day. Makes me wonder. But Nick can pull it off. There's a lot of leather. Nothing wrong with leather. Hitkrant, a Dutch magazine. Fantastic photography here. George Michael on the front, and a nice feature on the band. Look at Simon. Simon, this photo session was just almost like, it made me a little afraid of what was going to happen to him. He's posing on this pedestal from the Arcadia years. And kind of looks like he's just defying gravity. But he makes it work. Playing Cupid. Okay, this is a really, really cool shot. This photo session was for the issue of the British magazine called Sky, and I believe it was the debut issue, and Duran were on the front. There was a big feature on Duran and Grace Jones, and this photo was recycled for this Turkish magazine. And Julie, you're probably right. It could have been sunny, but not really warm over there. So, therefore, pile on the leather, pile on the fashion. Okay. Love that shot. Back then, Nick was doing things with his hair that was just, I don't know, something like Chris Angel would create. It's just all kinds of black magic stuff going on. And it's really, looked good. I don't know how he did it. Okay. And there's a debate going on here talking about the look during the Big Thing era. And it was not, it had some visual challenges in those photo sessions. I'll say it like that. Hey, Paul Shirley's here. Okay, Nick in a robe of some sort. Just looking quintessential Nick Rhodes. This is a Spanish article. Really, really great shot. And this looks like it is a collage of images across the band's career. It is a Dutch feature, and all the pictures, well, it's just glossy, full color gloriousness. Yeah. Could not get enough of these guys. Every magazine, Just returns me to those newsstands on my knees, just looking over every issue and wondering how I'm going to afford it all. And then there's that Andy Taylor feature. So this is for you Andy fans out there. And then we're going to go right into 1989, it looks like. So brace yourselves. It's going to be a very visual shift in the photo sessions. It was a hard year in 1988 and then going into 1989, especially for John. This, I believe, was, let's see, it looked like the opening of the London Docklands Arena, but I don't think this was that session. But anyway, it was a similar look. There's some fans up here. That's always fun. I love seeing Duranie fans in pages of magazines. Buffy Larson always preferred Nick's hair in a darker color. You know, the hair color definitely changes their complexion, the look. It can change the photo session completely. Absolutely. I totally agree. And I go back and forth, I suppose. I love the dark hair on Nick during the Arcadia days. When it's blonde, what is it, blonde? It's been red, it's been lilac, not purple, lilac. This is a really cool spread incorporating a lot of the Big Thing artwork, that kind of appearance, texturally, like design-wise. So it's really cool. You don't see a whole lot of that kind of creativity in the presentation of certain articles. So it's fun when magazines go that extra mile. And they have the lyrics to take me every morning, take me every night. Yep. Vitamin D. Take it every morning, every night. No side effects. Okay, this is a feature from 1990. These are the outfits that they wore when they appeared on the Arsenio Hall show. Oh, that was so fun. I remember them showing up, and yeah, Fabi loved the Big Thing artwork and the music. It was all amazing. So are you. But they appeared on the Arsenio Hall show, and I remember that moment when John Taylor was sitting there and someone in the audience held up a sign that said, "John is sex." And John stands up and he does just a little spin around and shaking his tuchus. It was so cute. It was very funny. Anyway, here's a picture of how they appeared and the outfits they were wearing. It was from the Arsenio Hall show. Some interesting wardrobe choices for John. Okay, this is a French article from 1990. Really cool shot of John on the base on this one. A lot of long hair. I don't remember a whole lot of seeing him like that. So that's kind of interesting to see right here. That's really fun. Okay, well, we're coming to the end of another book, but we will be back. This is a shot from 1994, I believe, 1993, 94. One of them, and it's Italian, and there's a picture of Simon with Amanda and Yasmin. There's a smaller shot of John with Amanda, so it's a little bit about their love lives. Those candid shots just were so fun. Charlene Johnson's here. Hello, Charlene. Okay, this is Blue Jeans. This is a Turkish magazine. A good shot of Simon from 1994, I believe, when he had the platinum hair. I wasn't a big fan. I think when Simon's hair goes too blonde, it kind of washes out his face. This is, for those who love the wedding album look, yeah, you're going to love this. It's a great shot with Warren and some cool action shots. This is actually discussing the Thank You album. But the photo here, I believe, is from 1993. So there's a little mixing of the eras. But the photos are a little on the unusual side. that hair. John went crazy red. Nick went crazy lilac. I mean, I haven't watched the Too Much Information video in ages. Julie says that very blonde Simon looks bald. Yes, it definitely creates some visual challenges, doesn't it? Purple hair. I think Fabi says purple hair. I could swear it was described as lilac in a magazine. It could be purple. Lavender. I'm sure everything can apply. It was just really interesting choice. But Duran always reinvent themselves. It's fantastic. Okay, some other shots of the band from that era. I do kind of like those photos from that era because it was that time when like 94, 95, and then on through up until their reunion. I mean, it was hard. You know, Duran were really struggling, but they were never less loved. So here's a shot. I believe it is German, and it's John on the beach. A great shot. And yes, you're right. Julie says, it's all kinds of different ways of saying the same thing, purple. I should just say purple. Keep it simple. Okay, La Dolce Vita di Nick Rhodes. Nick Rhodes and Julie. And I'm not a big fan of his hair looking this blonde. His face looks a little pasty. But his eyes are still green and his heart is still warm. So it's still Nick Rhodes. Actually, okay, there's Julianne over here. LaToya Jackson, I believe, is over here. And Brandon says, from Maine or mullet to bald. Whoa, welcome to the end of the 80s. I know. Oh, that was a changing of the guard, wasn't it? Yeah, I know. Duran Duran enter the 90s. This is a French article showing the band around, from promoting the Thank You album. And it's definitely a whole new look for them. Chameleon Kings. Okay, and here's an interesting, slightly salacious article on Simon hanging out with Naomi Campbell. So I'm just going to let the picture speak because I don't think there's anything I can add to this conversation. You'll see what I'm talking about on one side. Yeah, Naomi Campbell. I don't even know if I want to know what the article's about, but I think I'm getting a pretty good picture. Cheeky. Yeah. And we're going to end with an article from February 27th, 2008. It's the return of Duran Duran, I believe, from Italy. It's a nice shot right there. So this is the end of one book. We will have another for you. I'm going to come back at 11:30. I believe, that'll give me enough time to catch my breath, process all the love that I have for you guys. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for being here. Such a pleasure to see you guys. And just don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Same Duranie channel. Whoosh. Mwah.